Welcome back to the channel, and in today's Blender tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to make a realistic looking cup of tea in Blender 4.2. So we're going to be doing everything in Blender, the modeling, the materials, and the only thing I'm not going to cover in this tutorial is just how I added this wooden material here, because you can add whatever material you want to the floor or the environment that your cup of tea is sitting on. But I'm going to show you the blend file. So this is the exact tutorial. This is the very result from the tutorial you're about to watch. And it's just a nice kind of Pyrex glass cup with a nice beautiful taper in it and a little saucer that we're going to model. It honestly takes like 30 seconds to model this little plate here. So this is the result, a realistic cup of tea in Blender. I will be uploading this blend file to my Patreon as well. So those of you who support the channel on Patreon, you'll be getting access to that. But for now, let's jump into this tutorial and make a realistic looking cup of tea in Blender 4.2. Let's jump into a new scene of Blender. We're going to press A to select all the objects, and then we're going to press delete on our keyboard. We're now going to go Shift A, and under our mesh options, we're going to go and add in a cylinder. And then we're going to go into our front orthographic view by pressing 1 on the number pad. We're going to go into the edit workspace here. And then we're going to go S, Z with all of this active and just scale it down a little bit till it's kind of like a disk. And then just go G, Z and move it up till it's just sitting on this red line here, which is our floor. There you can see that. And what we're going to do, we're going to press Z and we're going to go into wireframe. In our top orthographic view, we're simply going to come to the very left side here and just select these two verts in wireframe, like so. And then we're going to go Control I or Command I. That'll inverse the selection, flipping it around. Then we're just going to press delete and click on vertices. Now we only have this one freestanding edge made out of two vertices. We're going to go over to our modifiers tab, add modifier, search, and then you want to go and type in screw. You're going to click on screw, and now it's spinning this around for us. We're going to press Z again now and go into solid. So now we can use the screw tool to very simply model a cup. Now I'm going to go with a Pyrex styled cup. So I'm going to select the top vertex in the front orthographic view, right over here. And then I'm going to go E to extrude. And extrude it out a little bit, and then E to extrude a little bit. And I'm just going to come out and make kind of like a little bit of a bend that comes out here on the side, like so. And then I'm going to select this bottom vertex here, and I'm going to go G and just move it in slightly. And then with this one, I might actually just extrude it in just a little bit, like so. And then extrude it in like so. And now we have this bottom lip. Now, if you want to extrude up, you might have to go Z and then go to wireframe. So now in our front orthographic view, we can see as we're extruding inside. And I'm just going to do a few extrusions by pressing E, E. And as we get to the middle here and the gap starts closing, come here and enable merge. And then go E to extrude and just bring it till those come together and bring it as close as you can. So now if you go, you can see that's what we have. Like so. So we have the bottom of the Pyrex cup here. So we're going to select this top vertex over here. Back in our front orthographic view, we're going to continue modeling. So we're just going to go E to extrude. We're going to extrude this guy up, like so. And then we're going to go E to extrude it up, E to extrude, E to extrude again. And then we're going to kind of start flanging out a little bit, like so. And we're going to come up here, something like this, just a few extrusions. So you can see it has a little bit of a taper running along here, like so. I might grab this, just extrude it up once more like this to make a lip. And now we're going to press Z and go wireframe. And now everywhere where there's a vertex, we're just going to go and grab the top vertex and go E to extrude it out. This gives it all some thickness. And then we're going to go E to extrude and extrude to the next vertex and keeping a little bit of a distance, as you can see here. And now we're going to give it some thickness. So we're going to keep extruding. We're going to go E to extrude, extrude down to where the next vertex is, E to extrude, and we're keeping a gap, right? We're going to keep this little distance here between this vertex and this vertex. Okay, so let's grab that vertex again, and we're going to keep going E to extrude to where the next one is, E to extrude to where the next one is, and now when we get to the bottom, we don't want to give it thickness all the way, keeping it the same, because in the bottom it's going to kind of be like a concave happening here. So what we're going to do, we're going to extrude this, we're going to bring it down to about here, and it starts getting a little bit thicker. And then we're going to go E to extrude, and we're just going to go E to extrude a few times. And we're just rounding this out now and bringing it in together till we get to the middle and these touch like so. So now if we press Z and we go solid, we can see this is what we have. So what we're going to do, we're going to tab out, and we're going to come here to our screw modifier. We're going to come to the drop down and apply. Then in our top orthographic view, let's go back into edit mode. And if you want to, just press C to get your selection tool and just click here in wireframe just to select these two verts, and then press X and delete those verts. Then back in solid view, you can go Shift Alt, left click on this edge and press F to fill. Deselect and then go Shift Alt, left click on this edge and go F to fill. And we want to make sure all of our normals are correct. We're going to go over here to our mesh edit mode, enable normals, and just to make sure, we're going to press A to select everything and go Alt N, and we're going to go recalculate outside to make sure we have correct normals. And then what we want to do is we want to go to our modifiers, add modifier, let's type in sub and get a subdivision surface. Let's tab back out into object mode and let's come to the drop down and apply that. So now if we go back into edit mode, we have more topology. Let's come here to our drop down and turn off the normals. So now we're going to make the little bit that goes out the side. So let's go, what would be known as a handle, obviously. So let's go into our right orthographic view by pressing 3 on a number pad. So we're now in the right orthographic view. Let's go to our vertex select option, deselect everything. You can see the middle here, the blue line running down. We want to come here and we just want to select somewhere here in the middle, a vertex, and then go Control plus to go to selection. Then go Shift Alt S and just keep moving your mouse till it rounds out, and then press X and delete those faces. Then come here to the bottom and select a vertex following all the way down, right in the middle. Control plus to go to selection. Shift Alt S and round that out, and then press X and then delete the faces. So now we have these two holes. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to our edge select option, Shift Alt left click on this edge over here, go to your front view, and the thing that we have here is that because we selected a single vertex and grew it, both these have the exact same amount of edges. So what we can do now in our front view, we can go E to extrude and extrude it out a little bit, S to scale. Then we're going to go SX0 just to flatten it. And now you can come here and rotate by pressing R. And then you can go E to extrude, R to rotate, even S to scale, and then E to extrude, R to rotate. And yes, you could use something like the spin tool, but I think it's kind of fun just to extrude it manually like this and make kind of like the cup handle shape. And I'm going to extrude this one up here, like so, R to rotate a little bit. And you can see here's the outer hole here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to now go E to extrude, R to rotate, and just start moving it towards this hole here. And I'm going to go E to extrude again, click, R to rotate, and kind of line that up. And then once it gets close to this one here, with these edges still selected, I'm going to go Shift Alt and left click on this edge to loop select it. These two now have the exact same amount of edges, so we can go Control E and we can go bridge edge loops, and it'll automatically bridge them like this. We're going to come in here, Control R, left click when you see an edge once, and just slide in an extra edge and then left click again. Now let's just go Control R, add in a loop here, Control R, double click, Control R over here, double click, Control R over here, double click, Control R, Control R, Control R, just adding some more topology. And then what we're going to do, we're just going to go into our wireframe, select all of these, and then just go over here to our smooth tool and then just click smooth and smooth that out just to make it look nice. So now we have that handle, the cup here, handle for our cup. So we're going to press A to select everything, Alt N, and just recalculate the outside just to make sure any normal issues are fixed. And now we can tab back out and let's go to our modifiers, add modifier, search, and type in sub. Let's give that a subdivision surface, and in the viewport, let's bump that up to 2, so it's nice and smooth in our viewport. So now we have a Pyrex cup here. So what we're going to do is we're now going to go in object mode, Shift A. We're going to add in a circle. We're going to tab into edit mode and go to vertex select option. And with all of this active, we're going to go E to extrude and S to scale, like so. And then E to extrude and Z to extrude up onto Z. And then click and then S to scale a little bit. Then E to extrude and S to scale. And now that we have this made, you're just going to go Shift Alt left click on this edge to select it, the whole loop over here, and press F to fill that with a face. Then press A to select all of it. E to extrude, and simply right click to let go, and then go Alt S and just scale that out along its normals and give the plate some thickness, and then left click. And then we're going to go A to select everything and go Alt N, and let's recalculate the outside normals. Then under our modifiers, we're going to go search and just get a sub and get a subdivision surface and bump it up in the viewport to 2 as well. Tab back out and now right click and go shade smooth. Now you have a very simple saucer here, a little plate, and you can scale it however you want. In object mode, I'm going to go something like this. And then in our front view, we're just going to make sure we move this cup still it's sitting right on top of the plate, like that. So now we have those two things modeled and they're looking really, really good. So now let's go Shift A, let's add in a plane. Let's go S to scale that plane up nice and big, like so. Press A to select everything, and if you scaled anything in your viewport, just go Control A and apply that scale so it doesn't mess anything up with textures later on, if you wanted to add some. And then what you can do is find a position that you like, Shift A, go and add in a camera. With your camera active under here, you can press 0 on your number pad. That'll take you into camera view, and you can press G and then the middle mouse button, and then simply move your mouse back, and you can zoom out like so, and then left click, and you can just press G to move the camera. And then using that technique, you can position the camera however you want, finding something that you like. And with my camera active, I'm going to go to my camera settings. I'm going to give it a focal length of 130. And because I've done that, I'm just going to have to zoom out a little bit more. There we go. Something like that. And you can position your camera however you like, but that's what I'm going to go with. And then let's go over to our render engine. Let's change it from Eevee to cycles. If you have a GPU, I recommend you enable it and use it. If not, just stick to CPU. And then you're going to go over to your render max samples, and let's make that 50. In this case, you can bump yours up more, but since I'm doing a tutorial, I'll keep mine a little bit lower. Then make sure to save if you haven't already done so. And now we can go Z and we can go rendered. And then we can go Shift A, and let's have a look. If we go to our light options, we can add in an area light, G, Z, and move it up. And with this light active, I'm going to go to my camera settings and give it a power of, not our camera settings, I meant my light settings. We're going to go over to our light properties here. And with that light selected, we're going to give it a value of 300. And then a size of 3. And with this light active, we can come over here to our pivot transform, change it to 3D cursor. And because our 3D cursor is here in the middle, we can now double tap R. And we can rotate this light however we want. So I'm going to go something like that. And then Shift D to duplicate, double tap R to duplicate another one and rotate it. And I'm going to have this one kind of coming from here for now. And that's what I'm going to stick with for now. So let's now come and select our actual cup. And I'm going to just press Z and go back into solid view. And you can just create a cup if you wanted to, but if you wanted something that looks like liquid in the inside, you can simply select your cup. I'm just going to change the pivot transform back to median here. Tap into edit mode and then select the center vertex. Control plus just to grow the selection, to grow it nice and big. And you can grow it to however big you want. So I'm going to go something like that. Then I'm going to go Shift D to duplicate, right click to let go. And now we have it active. I'm going to press P and separate that selection. Then go back into object mode. And now you have a cylinder.001. It's a new object, and tab into edit mode. And then just go Shift Alt left click to select this edge at the top. And then press F to fill that. And then go Control B just to create a very slight bevel. And roll your middle mouse button just to add in a few segments. So we have something like that. Then press A to select the whole thing. And then just go S and scale it so it's a little bit thicker and inside, sort of embedding itself inside the glass cup. Then tab back out, and now we have some liquid. So in our camera view, let's select our mug. Let's go over to our material properties. Let's click new, and let's call it glass. Simply go over to your roughness and bring it down to 0.05. Go to your transmission and give it a value of 1. And then go to your base color and make sure the value slider is all the way up. And then select your plate, go new, and let's call it plate. Let's bring the roughness down to 0.07. And let's come to the base color and just drag this value down just a little bit so it's not too white. And then let's select our inside liquid here. Let's go new. Let's come to the base color and kind of give it a peachy brown kind of color. Let's go to the roughness and make it 0.02. And let's come to the transmission and give it a value of 1. And then make sure to save. And now if we go Z and we go rendered, we can see this is what we have. But there are a few things we can do to make this look more realistic. For a start, I'm just going to click on the floor here and just go new and give that a material. I'm going to call it floor. Now you can add a texture or wooden texture, any material you want, but for now, I'm just going to go ahead and make it a little bit darker. And then I'm going to go over to my world properties. I'm going to go here to my color, give it a sky texture, and then come here and give it a strength of 0.3. Now this is what you can use if you don't have a HDRI, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to use a HDRI, which is a high dynamic range image. But if you just want to work with what's inside of Blender, you can go ahead and stick with that. But I'm going to go with an environment texture. I'm going to go open, and I already have one in a library somewhere that I like to use. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that one. So now I have that. And I'm just going to give that a strength of 0.7. But you could use whatever you want. So now I might just grab my camera, and I'm just going to reposition my camera. I feel like it might just look a little bit better if I reposition it. But like I said, you can choose your camera position. And like I said, you could add whatever floor you want, but I'm going to go ahead and just add a material, PBR material that I have. And by the way, these materials I got from polyhaven.com, where you can get them for free. But for now, I'm just going to get one that I have, which is a laminate floor. But you guys can go ahead and pick whatever materials you want. Find something online. You can place your cup wherever you want. But for me, I'm just going to go ahead and I think I'll just add a wooden laminate floor. There we go. And another thing you can do to make this look good is just grab your camera. Go to your camera settings and give it depth of field. Click on the eyedropper and then select the cup. And then you can come here to the f-stop and bring it down to like 0.9. And that should give you some nice soft focus. And you can bring this down even more till you get a nice soft focus in the background. Another thing to also keep in mind is that the higher your focal length is, the bigger you can make this number. You don't need to bring it down as much, but I'm going to go with something like that. Now you could call it done at this point, but to add a real touch of realism to this, what you could do is go ahead and grab the glass, go to your shading, and then with this glass material, you can go Shift A, search, and type in noise, get a noise texture, plug the color into the roughness, then go Shift A, search, and get a color ramp, place it on here, drag the black value up and drag the white value down, and grab the white value and make it darker, almost like a dark gray. And then come here and bring the detail all the way up and the roughness up to 0.7. And now if you go Z and you go rendered, we got a little bit of roughness added to the glass in a kind of controlled way, which just adds a little bit more smudginess to the glass. Another thing you can do is you can grab the T inside, and let's just, by the way, call that T. And you can come here to the material output, and you can grab this volume and drag on it, and then type in volume absorption, and then give this a value of 4, and then give it a similar color to the base color here. And now if you go Z and we go rendered, that has some volume absorption, which is adding an extra layer of realism here. So that is a realistic cup of tea in Blender. So let's now go ahead, make sure to save. Let's go render, and then render the image. And there we have it, a cup of tea. I hope you guys have enjoyed this Blender tutorial. It's a pretty simple one, so I hope that you were able to complete it. Definitely go ahead, share it with people, you know, put it in your portfolio, whatever you want to do. I'll be uploading this blend file to my Patreon as well, so those of you who support the channel on Patreon will be getting access to this as well. I'll see you guys next time, and thank you for watching.